Right now on WB News at 10, the Oklahoma City bomber is dead. Find out what his death certificate will say, plus meet San Diegans forever affected by the terroristic act. Also, a man you first heard from on WB News at 10 may be close to getting out of a Tijuana jail. Find out who may set this cancer patient free. And the surprising scent that could make your workout work for you. WB News at 10 starts right now. Many say it's not closure, simply the end of a terrible chapter in life.
This morning, family and friends of Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh watched as he was executed in Terre Haute, Indiana. There was no cheering, no rejoicing as he died. But family and friends of the 168 people lost in the bombing say they're relieved it's over. The 33-year-old was executed for the 1995 bombing of the Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. McVeigh said the 1993 government siege of the Branch Davidian compound in Waco inspired him. Our Lillian Kim is live in Indiana.
Witnesses here in Terre Haute and Oklahoma City watched Timothy McVeigh be put to death. The 33-year-old died in a matter of minutes, making this the first federal execution in 38 years. Strapped to the execution table, Timothy McVeigh made eye contact with witnesses, including members of the media, the government, and 4 people requested by McVeigh, but shielded from his view survivors and relatives of those killed in the blast.
He couldn't see us. I wanted him to see me, to somehow let him know that you didn't break the spirit that you thought you were going to break, and we're here representing the people that you unjustly took their lives.
Witnesses say the convicted Oklahoma City bomber died silently with his eyes open. Time of death, 7:14 a.m. local time, about 4 minutes after the lethal injection began. According to a priest who met with McVeigh while in prison, McVeigh's remains have been cremated and given to one of his attorneys.
If there is anything good that can come from the execution of Tim McVeigh, it may be to help us realize sooner that we simply cannot do this anymore.
In Oklahoma City, people gathered at the memorial site to remember the bombing victims. Many who could not attend the execution witnessed McVeigh's death live via closed-circuit television.
Tomorrow I can get on with my life. Tomorrow I can sweep Timothy McVeigh completely out of my life forever, and I never have to worry about him ever again.
Before his death, McVeigh did not speak. Instead, he gave a brief statement, a copy of a British poem. McVeigh was also given last rites by a Catholic chaplain. Reporting live from Terre Haute, Indiana, I'm Lillian Kim. Now back to you.
Thank you, Lillian. It was a long day in Terre Haute. The whole process started this morning. At 7:06 Central Time, the execution leaders were given the thumbs up to begin. At 7:10, the first dose of drugs was injected, and 1 minute later, the second dose. At 7:13, the final drug was administered. Then, at 7:14, Timothy McVeigh was pronounced dead. There are 2 sections on McVeigh's death certificate regarding how he died. The cause of death will read lethal injection, but the manner of death will read homicide, because by definition in Indiana, homicide is when one person kills another.
Aftershocks of the Oklahoma City bombing still rumble through San Diego 6 years later. A handful of people from our city traveled to Oklahoma days after the tragedy, and today's execution brought back some tough memories. Brian Black joins us now with that part of the story. Brian?
Well, Dave, 2 San Diego men were forever changed by the mass murder committed by Timothy McVeigh. Neither man lost family or friends in the bombing, but both say they lost a piece of themselves after spending time in Oklahoma City.
This is a picture that I took.
Dr. Joe Davis spent 5 days in Oklahoma City counseling kids.
There is one image that I can reflect on that involved a child who asked, I guess, the definitive question, is my relatives coming back? I think that in itself was a painful experience, recognizing that no matter what I say, no matter what I do, Brian, nothing is ever going to bring that child's family member back.
Are you glad that Timothy McVeigh is dead now?
I feel uncomfortable reflecting on whether it was right or wrong. The life of McVeigh that was taken today will never replace the lives of those 168 people that were periled in that mass bombing.
Among the men and women who recovered those killed in the bombing was a San Diego County Sheriff Sergeant Conrad Grayson.
I'm glad that he was executed because I think he needed to be executed. Everybody says he's taken this to his death like a soldier. He didn't die like a soldier, he died like a coward.
Both Sergeant Grayson and Dr. Davis agree. Today's execution doesn't end this horror story.
The book is not closed. Today is just another ongoing aspect of that unfortunate book that was etched by Timothy McVeigh.
Dr. Davis says people are still trying to unravel the mystery of McVeigh's mass murder. He doesn't think we will ever fully understand why a person would commit such a crime.
Thank you, Brian. In other news, a white supremacist who threatened several local leaders is going to prison. Alex Curtis is sentenced to 3 years in federal custody. He pleaded guilty to violating civil rights. Curtis admits he threw racist flyers into a La Mesa neighborhood and painted swastikas on at least 2 synagogues. Jane Dortick will learn her fate tomorrow morning. The jury has reached a verdict. The Valley Center woman is accused of murdering her husband, then reporting him missing to police. Dortick says she's not the one who did it. Her daughter is.
An 81-year-old American cancer patient is in a Mexican hospital tonight. He was transferred there after his condition worsened. George Merle has been in Tijuana jail since May 24th. He was arrested for buying 600 tablets of Valium without a prescription. Tomorrow, a judge is expected to meet with Merle. Representatives with the U.S. consulate hope the judge decides to release him soon for medical reasons.
That they show mercy, that they show compassion, given his circumstances, and that they do the right thing.
Merle has had prostate cancer for 6 years. He fears if he doesn't get treatment in America soon, he'll die.
Another man is behind bars in a Mexican prison. Police say he tried to smuggle marijuana into California in an unusual way. It happened yesterday in Otay Mesa, about 2 miles from the border. An alfalfa truck tipped over and the pot fell out. Police say the driver was either trying to cross the border or store his cargo at a warehouse on the Mexico side and take it over in small shipments. An important message tonight for parents. Be careful letting your kids jump on the bed. 2 Escondido toddlers were flown to Children's Hospital this evening after they bounced from the bed into a screen window. The 3- and 4-year-olds fell out of the 2nd-story window. No word yet on their conditions.
Some San Diegans are heating up over another proposal to hike electricity rates. The Public Utilities Commission held a public hearing on the issue this afternoon, and the mood was dark. WB News at 10's Emmett Russell was there and shares with us what angry utility customers had to say.
Muscle relaxers, heart medication. I have a heart condition.
Gail Hoover carries her